two positive infinities combining the same behavior would mean magpe-prevail yung behavior na ginagawa nilang pareho. So, pareho silang positive, then positive infinity will prevail. Pareho silang decreasing, then negative infinity as well will happen. Okay? And itong subtraction ang crucial kasi magiging indeterminate siya. Bakit? Pag pinagsama mo ang magkaiba ang behavior, pagsamahin mo ang positive infinity and negative infinity, anong iisipin mo? Or you're going to subtract. Ang ibig sabihin din niyan, class, is in addition perspective, positive infinity plus negative infinity will now mean positive infinity minus infinity. So, ano ngayon iisipin natin? Okay, I place an explanation here. It becomes indeterminate because we don't exactly know which dominates. Ang ibig sabihin nito, alin sa dalawa ang mas mabilis mag-increase? Alin sa dalawa ang mas mabilis mag-decrease? So kung halimbawa you have 2x and you have 3x, sino sa dalawa ang mas mabilis mag-increase? Obviously, si 3x. Mas mabilis yan. 3 times x ba naman? Yung dalawa, yung isa, doblehin mo lang. Yung isa, triple daw. So paano kung nagkataon, you're going to, you have 2x minus 3x. Parang yun yung bigyan sabihin. Nakikita mo dito, class, na if you're going to inspect the equation, it seems to be, parang hindi mo siya agad kayang identify, right? Pero if you're going to understand the behavior of 3x, and the literal meaning is triple of x, yung isa naman, double of x. So literally, it means the triple of x grows faster than that of 2x. Pero if you're going to move into the process, then makikilala mo kung paano matatanggal yung indeterminate form. This one is an indeterminate form, class. Okay? So, kilalanin muna natin lahat sila. Sa multiplication, walang problema kay multiplication actually when you're going to have to select which among these four is but worth knowing, ganyan. Or napaka-interesting niya is the multiplication. Bakit? Kung ano daw yung sign, follow mo lang. Positive times negative is negative. The way you multiply. Unlike signs, negative. Same sign or like signs, positive. Provided that you have to be very conscious on the number of factors. Be very conscious on the number of factors kasi nga sabi ko sa inyo, 3 negative signs, negative. 4 na negative sign, positive. You have to be very conscious at abangan mo ang add number of factors. Ganun. Very, very junior high, very, very elementary way. Because in elementary, they are now into negative, positive sign. And I hope nakaka-adjust kayo sa mga ganun kasi parang inuulit lang natin pero nilalagay natin yung concept of infinity. Okay? And we have here, definitely like signs will prevail, positive sign. It simply follows the determination of signs in multiplication. That is, two the same signs or two like signs yield positive product. Okay? And for the indeterminate, it becomes, for the division, it becomes indeterminate. You know, class, kasi ang nangyayari dito, which among these two, the numerator and denominator increases faster. Dahil kung ang denominator ang mas mabilis mag-increase, ano ang gagawin ng... Okay, think of it. Kung si numerator ang mas mabilis na mag-increase, then ano masasabi mo kay denominator ngayon? Masasapawan niya si denominator. So, ibig sabihin, what will happen? This is the idea, class. When the numerator increases faster, then it means to say, positive infinity pa rin. Kasi mas mabilis siya mag-increase kay denominator. Okay, can you just imagine 4 divided by 2? 2. 5 divided by 3. Oh, still, that's a positive. Nag-increase siya. Matagal, ibig sabihin nito, kung nangyari na mas mabagal ang denominator, ibig sabihin, palaging magpe-prevail ang numerator. So, ibig sabihin, you always talk about improper fractions. And that will always increase When the numerator increases faster than denominator, then the value of that fraction is increasing, no? Infinitely. Pag binaliktad mo naman, the numerator decreases faster than the denominator, then that's another story. Anyway, as we go through, meron silang rules. Very sensitive, kaya nga sabi ko sa inyo during the introduction, very sensitive ang rational functions because the presence of division also dictates rational function. Napaka-sensitive nila. Kaya kilalanin natin sila. Okay? At kapag ang denominator naman ay mas mabilis mag-increase, yun naman ay papunta sa zero. We have here the rule 1 over infinity is 0. Kapag ang denominator ay mas mabilis mag-increase kaysa numerator, aasahan mo papunta yan sa 0. So parang ganito, 1/2, 1/3, 1 over 10. O no, aasahan mo dito. Nilalakihan natin ang values ng denominator, right? And the numerator is not increasing because that is constant. So what will happen therefore? Papunta ito sa 0. Papunta yan sa 0. And at dahil sinabi mo nga mas mabilis mag-increase ang denominator, ang mangyayari kapag nag-factor out ka, laging magpe-prevail na mas malaki lagi ang denominator. Yun din ang ibig niyang sabihin. Kaya nga kung nagbasa kayo ng topic, kung tinapos niyong basahin yung week 7 topics, nakikita niyo yung factoring technique. Identify the degree. Ganyan ang sinasabi niya. If they have the same degree, the numerator's degree is greater than denominator. Denominator's degree is greater than numerator. Di ba you have 3 cases? If you're going to study this, 3 talaga yung cases. Same degree, numerator greater than denominator, denominator greater than numerator. Okay. That falls under division. That's indeterminate. Sabi ko nga dito, maybe the numerator grows faster than the denominator which causes the increase of the value, or the denominator increases faster than the value approaches 0. The denominator increases faster than the value approaches 0. Ito yung sinasabi ko dito, class. Kaya never ever tell yourself, even if you are using calculator and then you are asked to evaluate, so what is 1 over 1 million? Never say that is 0. Wag niyong sasabihin, ay, that is 0. No. Para mo na rin sinabi na yung may pera at walang pera ay wala silang perang pareho. Wrong. Because even the smallest centavo is still a centavo versus 0. 0 is definitely the absence. But 1 over 1 million is never 0. Yun ang sinasabi ng limit. Nilalapitan niya lang ang 0. Kaya nga pwede mo sabihin, approximately 0. But that's not 0. Remember that in your exponential function, di ba? And negative integral exponent. Okay? Now, we have here the following. So we have methods in solving these two. The infinity minus infinity and infinity over infinity ay meron talaga tayong paraan para ma-solve sila. Now, at this moment, we are going to observe and analyze the examples regarding infinity times infinity and infinity plus infinity. Kung intindihin natin itong number 1 class, napaka-obvious niya din. You know, the presence of addition is already an obvious way for you to, i-add mo lang sila. And then, the more, this is positive infinity. Di ba sabi natin, kaano man ang exponent, kapag ang base mo ay infinity, will always, ang base mo ay positive infinity, ay laging positive infinity. Yun ang sinasabi niya. So, wala siyang masyadong, hindi siya masakit sa ulo, intindihin in that case. Positive infinity, tapos positive lahat. Okay, pinag-combine mo silang lahat. How are you going to identify the behavior? We can actually separate them by the rule of sum of the functions. Separate them by addition and include limit notations. Okay? Identity function. Di ba gagayahin niya to? So this is positive infinity. Ito naman, exponent niya daw ay 3. So you have positive infinity raised to 3. Now what will happen? That remains to be positive infinity. Kaya ito ay ito din, positive infinity. Combine these two, positive infinity, your answer is positive infinity. Okay, parang sinasabi niya lang naman class, you treat this literally, x plus x cubed. Lakihan mo yung x, increase mo yan infinitely. O anong i-expect mo sa x plus x cubed? Magdi-decrease ba yan? Nakikita mo nga lahat positive. Mag-i-increase yan. Yun lang yung sinasabi nito. You know, when you are solving problems like this, you don't necessarily need to check individually. Lalo na kung nakita mo immediately, all positive, ay positive lang yan. Ganun. Ang abangan mo dyan, nagpakita ba to? Hindi naman siya magpapakita sa'yo, di ba? That's indeterminate. Yun ang abangan mo, class. Kasi hindi mo hulaan. Baka hinuhula mo yung sagot mo. Never do that in calculus class. I tell you, parang sumpa na yung panghuhula na yan. During face-to-face, hinulaan nila. Tuwang-tuwa sila. And then ang result, they only got 10 out of 50. Ganyan. That's a sad reality. And never ever hula-hula sa exam. I'm telling you this. Instead, you review the techniques, not the hula. Okay? Baka itsura lang manghuhula kayo. Don't do that. Okay. Number 2, observe that this is negative infinity. So positive times negative infinity is negative. Observe also that this is negative. So negative multiplied to the square of negative infinity. You know that this is positive infinity. Positive times negative. O ano magpapakita, di ba, negative infinity? This is also negative infinity. O kung pagsamahin mo na silang dalawa. Kaya ito yung nangyari, class. Naging negative infinity kasi pinagsama mo ang parehong negative. Pagsamahin mo ang dalawang parehong nagdi-decrease, magkasundo sila. Yun, isa din yun sa literal na meaning. Kapag magkasundo sila ng ginagawa, iisa lang din ang gagawin nila. If they both increase, then definitely, when they combine, they will increase. Ganun lang. If the two of them, two or more, increases, decreases, then it follows pareho ang gagawin nila. Yun yung idea dun. Okay? That's for number 2. So parang nag-i-inspect muna tayo, di ba? You have to inspect, baka mamaya naging indeterminate yan. By inspection, you know that number 2 will not fall under indeterminate form because when you're going to simplify all of these signs, the prevailing signs will be both negative. So add them, will give you negative also. The answer is negative infinity. Okay? Ang sabi, ang nilagay ko dito, factoring can also be done. Okay, parang ibang set ito. I did not follow yung original example dun sa taas. Pero ang ibig kong sabihin dito, class, pwede ka mag-factor out. So ito, galing ito sa 2x minus x squared. And you can immediately see that these two terms have x as a factor. So bring that out. Okay? So it becomes x times 2 minus x. Ano nangyari dyan? Separate them. Itong two factors, separate mo. We call that one as a multiplication rule of limits. Di ba? So, identity, kung negative ito, gagayahin ito. So, that will become negative infinity. Negative infinity. So, parang nagsasubstitute ka. You treat that way, class. But we do not treat it as a typical equation. Pero minsan, parang kang nagsasubstitute, pero ang treatment, ulitin ko, ang infinity ay hindi number. Ang gusto mo lang mangyari dito, ano kaya yung final sign niya? Paano ba siya mag-behave? Yun. Okay? We do not treat them as actual equations. I keep on repeating that. Okay? Constant. Dito pa rin yan kasi nga constant function. And you have minus. Dito mangyayari ang tignan mo kung ano mag-prevail. So you have minus kasi that is subtraction, and identity rule, x, kagayahin niya ang gagawin ng x din. X approaches negative infinity, so y also approaches negative infinity. combine like signs, so this will become positive infinity. So, ano nakita mo dito? Kaya ito naging plus infinity. So, pag nakita nyo na class that you have plus infinity, ibig sabihin that's positive infinity already. Negative infinity, okay, minus. Kung minus infinity, negative infinity na din. Okay? O yan, yun ang kagandahan ng multiplication. Negative times positive is negative. Okay? Pero kung ayaw mo naman ng factoring technique mula kay 2x minus x squared, pwede kang mag-final determination. 2 tapos negative infinity. Final sign. And this is negative infinity, then square. This becomes positive, so minus positive infinity. Okay? Then you have negative infinity. 2 is positive times negative is negative infinity. Ayan, nakikita mo na, no? Negative infinity o negative times positive is negative. Okay, negative infinity minus infinity is negative infinity. Kung ayaw mo lang din naman ng factoring technique, pwede mong gamitin yung direct na. Nagdi-direct substitution ka, however, your main intention is to identify the final sign. That can help also. Okay, so let's move to the other. I'm just clarifying all of this, pero nakikita nyo naman ang buong solution sa LMS. O katulad nito, i-cube mo ang i-cube mo ang negative infinity, that becomes negative infinity. Bakit? Kasi odd number ito. Walang partner yung isa. Okay, erase mo sa 4 ang negative infinity. Okay, this is even. So it means to say negative raised to an even is positive. This is minus. Negative times positive is negative. So you have negative infinity minus infinity, bringing out negative infinity. Or if you don't like to make use of this, you can factor it out. Nakikita mo naman na ang x cubed minus x raised to 4 ay pwedeng maging x cubed times 1 minus x. If you're going to distribute this one, x cubed times 1 is x cubed. X cubed times negative x is negative x raised to 4. So mula kay x cubed at kay 1 minus x, tignan natin. Erase mo ang negative infinity kay cube is negative infinity. 1 minus negative infinity. Negative and negative becomes positive. So this becomes positive infinity. O multiply mo negative times positive times negative, the prevailing answer, negative infinity. Yun din. So if you choose to have factoring or you choose to have final determination of sign by just simply having the idea of exponent at saka yung multiplication, wala naman talaga siyang masyadong problema. Right? Nakikita mo, hindi kasi siya naging indeterminate. Okay. And the same happens to others. So ito, positive ito, positive lang ito. So 2 times positive infinity is positive infinity. At bakit ito naging positive infinity class? Bakit? Kasi that is fifth root. Fifth root of an increasing number. Ito is an increasing number. Yun ang sinasabi niya. Increasing radicand. When you increase this radicand, okay, then aasahan mo mag-i-increase talaga lahat ng values. Fifth root of 25, fifth root of 300, fifth root of 500, nilalakihan mo yung radicand, lumalaki talaga yung number. We treat it like that, literal. Fifth root of 1 is 1. Fifth root of, give me a number raised to 5. So fifth root of 32 is 2. Or 1 versus 32, which is greater. Obviously, it's 32. So it means, therefore, fifth root of 1 versus fifth root of 32, where 32 is greater than 1, then definitely fifth root of 1 is less than fifth root of 32. So ang ibig sabihin din nito, so kung lalakihan mo ang radicand ng isang fifth root function, radical function even, add radical function, then lumalaki yung number. It is increasing the value. Okay? So here naman, since this is an odd number, tandaan natin na kapag ang ang index ay isang odd number is always accepted. Ano man ang magiging x na yan, accepted ang all real numbers for x. You can have cube root of -1. This is actually -1. So ano man ang gamitin mo, radicand, kapag ang n index mo ay odd number, ay tatanggapin niya. Kaya nga ang nangyari dito, class, 7th root ng isang decreasing radicand ay decreasing din. Okay? Dahil ang range ng isang radical function where n is an odd is the set of all real numbers. Walang restrictions sa kanya. Okay? So parang at the same time, parang nire-review din natin yung GenMat nyo na radical functions. Now, what's more interesting than knowing the indeterminate forms? So how do we evaluate infinity minus infinity? This is indeterminate. Ito na yung interesado talaga tayo. Okay? Now, as stated above, it is difficult to identify the behavior at a single glance. However, we can make use of the definition infinity times infinity. This is done by factoring. Ang ibig natin sabihin dito is positive infinity, negative infinity is negative infinity. So, like signs is positive infinity. Ito yung sinasabi niya, class. Ito ang gusto nating ilabas. Okay? Kapag magfa-factor out daw tayo, yung intention natin ay palabasin ang multiplication rule. That when you are going to multiply unlike signs, then you have positive. And the product of like signs, unlike signs, I mean, is negative, and like signs is positive. And we're going to observe and analyze definitely the examples, paano nga ba ito nagamit. Okay. Kung mapapansin natin itong number 1, this is negative infinity. Ang clue na pwede ko sabihin sa inyo, wag na wag kayong basta-basta magsusolve nang hindi nyo nakikita kung anong ginagawa ng x. I mean, the limits at infinity, paano ba siya mag-behave? Nakikita natin that is negative infinity. So, ang una natin gagawin you can have an inspection. So, kung ito i-erase mo sa 3, at ito namang si x raised to 4 is negative infinity raised to 4. At addition pa ang ginamit. So, ang ibig sabihin nito, this is an odd number, so magpe-prevail yung sign na negative. This is an even number that is exponent. Anong sabi natin sa even number will always be positive. O pagsamahin mo itong dalawa, hindi ba't nagkokontrahan sila? One is decreasing while the other is increasing. Now, this na falls under the idea of indeterminate. Pero, sige, tinan muna natin yung nangyari, yung buong solution. Ang nangyari sa solution dito, nag-factor out tayo. Wherein, we brought out x cubed. Because x cubed and x raised to 4 are factorable, they can be divided by x raised to 3, kaya nilabas natin, no? So, nung nilabas natin ang x raised to 3, dalawa ang factors na makikita natin. Paghiwalayin mo ang dalawang factors na yan, at kunin mo ang limits ng bawat isa. So, when you try to look into the limits of the first factor, x cubed, as x keeps on decreasing, so parang ang ibig sabihin is exponentially, raise mo yan sa 3, no? And negative infinity raised to an odd is still negative. Oh, this must be 1. There's an error here. This must be 1. No? Because that is constant. I will check that in the LMS. This must be 1. 1 plus. Okay, this is x. Okay, identity function. What will happen? Identity, gagayahin niya to. Yun ang ibig sabihin. Okay? So, ano na nakikita natin? 1 plus negative infinity. Positive times negative is negative. Kaya ito naging negative class. So, a negative multiplied to negative becomes positive. Kaya ang sagot natin is positive infinity. So, ang technique, Okay, there is a reminder here highlighted. I just highlighted this one. Dahil kapag nagsosolve kayo, baka mamaya bigla-bigla kayong nagde-declare na indeterminate, ganyan, hindi ka pa nag-inspect. Inspection is the first clue, okay, before you perform such. You have to inspect. Sa lahat ng makikita nyong rules sa limits, inspection is the very first step that you have to do before performing such rules that come to your mind, because the failure to inspect is definitely you're eating much of your time, you're consuming much of your time, you're getting lost. Sa madaling salita, parang nawala ka kasi hindi ka nag-inspect, so hindi mo alam kung anong gagawin mo, no? Kaya ang sinabi ko dito, if you're going to evaluate it immediately, you will have this telling you now this is an indeterminate form. Kaya nagkaroon na tayo in the solution, lumabas ang positive infinity. But don't you know, class, that pwede mo din makilala agad-agad kung ano yung posibilidad sa dalawang ito? No? Sino sa dalawang mas malaki? I mean, which among these two is greater? X cubed or x raised to 4? Di ba ito si x raised to 4 ang greater? So, ibig sabihin, siya ang magpe-prevail. So, kung ano, because x raised to 3, x raised to 4, compare them. Infinitely decreasing. Compare them. Which is greater. Dahil hindi nga sila magkasundo. Ibig sabihin, mas mabilis. Okay? Mas mabilis si x raised to 4 versus kay x raised to 3. Kaya nga kung mapapansin ninyo, nag-prevail ang positive infinity. Sa kanya nang galing. Okay? Something like that. That can also help, class. That can also help. Dahil kung ang nangyari naman dito, what if you have x cubed minus x raised to 4 and x approaches positive infinity? Paano kung ganito naman? Ano masasabi mo dito? Which among these two increases faster? X cubed or x raised to 4? Very obvious ito, mas mabilis mag-increase. And subtraction pang ginamit mo, so ibig sabihin, magpe-prevail ito. To show the complete solution of that, so ganito siya, di ba? Kapag i-factor out natin ng x cubed minus x raised to 4, it will give us x raised to 3 times 1 minus x. And since x approaches positive infinity, we can make use of it. Immediately, you have positive infinity raised to 3. So this becomes 1 minus positive infinity. Positive infinity lang naman ang base mo for whatever is the exponent, then that remains to be positive. Either that's odd or even, positive integer, integral exponent. Okay, so ito naman, negative times positive is negative infinity. O multiply mo sila. What will prevail? Negative infinity. Or by inspection itself, kitang-kita mo that x cubed is less than x raised to 4. So if these two both decreases, which among these two decreases the faster? This one. Or if both increases the faster, which among them increases the faster? So parang ganun ang ibig sabihin. No? Pabilisan. Sino mas mabilis sa kanila? Ganyan. Yun ang magpe-prevail. And you have to be very conscious sa operation na ginamit kasi siya ang magbibigay ng final. And lalo na't isa siyang subtraction. So malaki talagang epekto niya sa behavior ni x raised to 4. Okay? And always negative times positive is negative, negative times negative is positive, negative positive is negative, mga ganyan-ganyan cases for multiplication.